do have this. Here we are, Trentonian TV, the debut of Live with LA.
Welcome. Listen, let me just say from the beginning, I don't know what this is going to turn out to be. It's going to be always evolving, I'm sure, but we're going to try and have some interesting guests from the Trenton area, hopefully from the State House too, and maybe even pick up a national story here and now and then. There's a lot of great things going on in the city of Trenton, a lot of challenges here too, and we'd like to get some of those conversations out to the public, and like I said, we'll talk about them and see where we are. As you know, the Chambersburg area in the city is a place that's in flux right now. We have a lot of new arrivals here, a lot of undocumented residents here, and the burg is changing. What's not changing is that Rossi's Bar and Grill is still in town. Mike Rossi, how are you?
I'm okay.
Nice to see you.
Nice to be here.
Listen, let's talk. You're still there?
We're still there, absolutely.
Okay. And you're planning on sticking?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Why are you staying after so many other people have left?
You know, I think, it's more of a question why have so many people left. We're staying because we still have a strong customer base. People like to come to see us. We like to see the customers. And we don't have issues that seem to be plaguing everyone else. We seem to be rolling along just like the way we always did, so why change it?
Where's your customer base coming from?
We have some, neighborhood people come to our place. The Central American people like our restaurant. The people come from Hamilton, Newtown, Princeton, kind of all over. They come up for basketball games at Trenton High School, and like the Neptune games brought a gang in. And a lot of sports people like to come to our place. Golfers come to our place because they want to talk to me. But most of the people come because they like our food.
Do you think people get this thing about the burg that it's a place where immigrants in the past have come, learned about the American dream, settled in, improved the neighborhood, and then made way for the next group of immigrants, right?
Absolutely, that's what's happening, and that's what happened with my grandparents, and they did the same thing that these people from Central America are doing now. The Europeans came over, early 1900s, and did the same exact thing. And so I don't, it's the faces are changing, but the ideas and all that stuff's the same. We don't have Roeblings anymore to attract these people, but it's more a service-oriented type of work, construction. Restaurants, but they're opening up their own restaurants, and they're opening up their own grocery stores, and the small grocery stores come back in Chambersburg. It's not the big, going after the big supermarkets all the time, and they're expanding. They're doing what my family did, 70 years ago.
And the one thing that they're doing that your parents and family did and grandparents did years ago and decades ago is that they're working hard. Listen, I challenge anyone in the city to wake up and have that same work ethic as they do. I see them riding their bikes. They were riding their bikes to work the other day in the snow. You go up to any restaurant on Route 1 and drive around the back and see how many bikes are there. Those are the newcomers. They're here and they're willing to work hard. Later on in the show we're having Dr. Hilling come on, Tuskegee Airmen. His family worked hard. A lot of the issues we have in the city of Trenton is that some people don't want to work hard. And I blame a part of that is that, the government started giving away free stuff. Just about any person would say, if it's going to be free and I don't have to work, and it's just about what I would make if I was working, I'll stay home. You got trapped. You need to get off your butt, go get a job, even if it pays 50 cents less than what you're getting by sitting at home. Go get a job, man. The government has you trapped. It's the new slavery. Welfare was the new slavery. It kept you home. Go get a job and stop complaining that these people have taken the job that you wanted. And that's a bunch of crap. Go get a job. I've got 2 or 3 jobs. I think the last time I counted, I have 3 jobs, 1 full-time, 2 part-time. I'm hustling too. I want to go play golf. When I want to play golf. I want to go to Florida when I want to go to Florida. It don't come easy, but you got to get up off your butt and go to work. So if you could change one thing in the bird immediately right now, what would it be?
Let's see. If I could change.
Oh, pardon me. I'm going to rant now and then. I'm sure that's going to be a regular part of the show. I'm going to get off topic and rant, but let me have my rant now and then, okay? All right.
I would I would brighten the place up. I put more lights out there. Just recently, I lit up the whole neighborhood, and I asked the city public service to help us out with that for a few years, and finally I just said, well, I'm going to do it myself. I like to see them come there and light up the place because lighting, good strong lighting deters any type of activity that's not desired there. The neighbors, I was afraid the neighbors were going to say, you made the place too bright. I can't sleep. But they came over and thanked me because the lights turn off around 11:30. So they came over and thanked me because all their parking spaces are lit up now too, and they feel more comfortable. And not that there's any issues, but just people feel more comfortable.
That's
when it looks like daytime.
Got to be part of the plan. I suggested to the mayor, and we'll continue to suggest to him that he goes to the burg, identify those businesses that are doing really well, and secure them. And that part of it is improve the lighting. Jimmy Camille said, Michi's, man, that place sometimes is so dark. Who would even park there, get out of your car, go eat there, and feel afraid about coming out? You got to brighten up all these places that are doing good business, and then come up with a plan to fix the rest of the neighborhood. I think also what's needed in the burg is information. A lot of people that are here need information about when we put the trash out, public urination, prostitution. We don't accept those things here, not in our neighborhood. So you have to and listen, English and Spanish announcements, go door to door. Forget about the CTY thing because, that's just, you don't connect with everybody on the phone. And go door to door and deliver the message. We're glad that you're here. You're welcome here. But we have rules here too.
Learn the language.
Yeah, listen, I love it. I wrote the column a while back. That's got to be part of the program.
Yeah.
We want to speak one language here. We do. I don't care what you speak inside your residence, but when you go out in the world, in this community in Trenton, we need to be on the same page about what are we talking about, what language are we using. I know it sounds, very parochial and very nationalistic, and it should be. We need one language. English isn't even the official language of the United States right now. We don't have one. We don't have one. It's got to be English right now. So please, glad that you're here. Come in, clean up. And the other thing is, they need to know when you put the trash out. If it's a holiday, we don't put the trash out. But the one thing about trash is once it's out, the trash is out. Hardly anyone ever goes back out and retrieves it and brings it back to the backyard.
Yeah.
Right? You leave it there.
Out there
right?
until somebody picks it up.
I love the saying. I forget who told me, but when the trash is out, the trash is out. So let's talk about your menu. Has it changed much?
No, it doesn't change too much over the years. Usually what I do is put a new idea on the special board, leave it there for a little while. If it's popular, then we'll put it on the menu. But people, as soon as they come in, usually they say, what are the specials, But
right.
A lot of times they'll still order the hamburger, but...
What's that? What's the hamburger?
What do you mean? What is that?
Everyone doesn't know about it, but enlighten us. Is that giant thing on the screen there? No, enlighten us. That's what you're known for, right?
We're absolutely known for the hamburger. Somebody started calling it Rossi Burgers years ago. We didn't even come up with that, but that kind of stuck. And yeah, my dad started that. He started that, making a bigger hamburger. Actually, at the picnic grounds at the Italian American Sportsman's Club, he started making big hamburgers, and people would say, this would be a good thing to have at the restaurant. This was in the 60s, and so that's when he started doing it, and it kind of took off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a pretty cool thing going on. This Hamburgers Across America book that's out now. The Travel Network wants to make us a series, part of a series where they were in filming and all that stuff.
Wow.
It was a great day, and so it's going to air in March or so. And on the Travel Network, where this guy George Most, who wrote the book, he goes to different venues, and he has some prerequisites. You have to be a family business and not a chain, and be serving hamburgers for 25 years. So we're going to be in the pilot, so that's great fun. So it's kind of, people just like them, and you bring them to Philadelphia to Nick's Roast Beef. The guys at Nick's Roast Beef are eating Rossi's hamburgers and Pat Steaks and all that stuff. We all kind of have a similar heritage.
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, go to the restaurant. Definitely try the burger. I took my friend Pastor Mark Granville there one night, and he's, oh, I'm gonna be able to devour. I'll be able to eat this in no time and everything. And it was funny. He just couldn't finish it. But that and the fries and the steak fries, well worth the visit. Mike Rossi, Rossi's Bar and Grill. You got anything, Joseph?
Nope.
DJ, play us something. DJ Father Ramsey, play me something. Get Michael out of here. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Ellie.
We'll see you at the restaurant or on the golf course real soon.
See you soon.
Yep.
Thanks.
You got it, brother.
I'm going to hang around and watch the rest of the
My turn?
Yes.
We have
They're playing some clean-up woman song for you.
Yeah.
okay, good. Maybe before I go, we can do one more.
We're getting settled here, getting settled in here. Kimberly Matthews, the Executive Director for Trenton Free Public Library, is getting ready to sit in and visit for a while. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You look rested and strong.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations on the new show.
Yeah, it should be fun. A lot of good things going on, and we expect to have you back quite a bit. A lot of things going on at the library, right?
Absolutely.
Cool
Always.
stuff. Cool stuff. Keep going. You can keep playing. We'll get Kimberly started in a minute.
Yeah, this is very cool. Yeah. Yeah. I like the music though. That's very cool. It's a nice addition.
30 seconds. Let me get some stuff on the
Of course, in the radio, you don't have to get up from here. Make sure you have eyeliner on. Yeah.
Somebody's going to back up.
Yeah, that's a pretty big crew.
Okay, anytime you want to go.
Welcome back to Live with LA, and Kimberly Matthews, as we said before, Executive Director for Trenton Free Public Library. I want you to scoot in a little bit more there.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm well.
I'm glad
How are you?
Great. I'm glad you could take the time to come in. It's been a while since we've spoken.
It is.
I guess things are going okay at the library?
Things are going well. We are moving along, moving forward, regrouping after the closure of the branches, and we're offering new services every day. We've done a lot of work on the facility.
We'll get to that in a minute. What do you tell those people living in those communities where their satellite libraries were closed? What are you telling them?
We continue to hope every day that those branches will reopen. We continue to hope that the budget will rebound to a point that we have the money, that the money is given to the library so that we can reopen those branches. And at this point, that's all we can do. We also work with some of the different community organizations. I know I've had conversations with CityWorks and with CYO about a year ago talking about if they did get an opportunity to utilize those buildings, whether or not there was some services that we could provide out of those, and we would be very interested in doing that. So, you know, the conversation changes every day, and there's always something new, but we continue to hope and look for opportunities.
Time for a partial rant. Listen, what's wrong with people, man? 4 libraries in the city of Trenton, in needy communities, shut down. And the public just allowed it to happen. I think it's more of a comment about where we are about education and child safety and access. Listen, they couldn't close a library in any suburban community. Those white people, and I'm going to say those predominantly white people and others, would rise up and go down to City Hall and demand that whatever mayor open up that library again. In Trenton, we can shut down libraries, burn books, throw stuff away. It's like we don't care. Those libraries meant something to those communities. Children leaving school went to the library, did their homework, had a safe haven, used a computer. Other people trying to learn English as a second language, use those facilities. People looking for jobs. And they've been shuttered for over a year, and Trenton residents do nothing. Now, I bet you if Principal Maurice from Trenton High School said, you know what, we're getting rid of basketball, 10,000 people would march on Trenton High. It's not about bouncing a basketball, throwing a football. And once we get that, and thank God, boys basketball, Greg Grant at Trenton High School finally is getting it and knows it. Those basketball players, yeah, they lost to Notre Dame last night. Man, they showed a lot of heart coming back from 17 down, beginning of the fourth quarter. But guess what? Mr. Grant has those kids involved with the Bonner School from the College of New Jersey. They get tutored. Every last one of those players get the extra help that they need. I guarantee you, listen, those kids, many of them make the honor roll. But you don't care about that. You just want to beat Notre Dame in basketball. That's it. You don't want them going to college. You don't care. Once they finish bouncing that basketball for Trenton High School, you don't care. I'm glad that Principal Maurice cares, Greg Grant cares, and some other people are finally getting this. Most of these kids aren't going to go play professional basketball. Greg Grant did it. Can anybody else name me anyone else at Trenton High that's doing it or did it recently? It doesn't happen. Now guess what? They have great grades. They can have a little athletic ability. They can go to college on a scholarship. That's what it's about. Because listen, not many people on that court, especially, listen, maybe one guy on the court last night has a potential for a stellar college career. And maybe that's it. Better learn how to hit the books. You better go to Mayor Mack and say, listen, we want our library open back up. The worst thing, and I get angry every time I hear this, if you want to keep a secret from a black kid, hide it in the book. I don't want to hear it. We do this to ourselves. Ran over. Ms. Matthews? So, how do you go from closing 4 libraries and then trying to offer all the information and access in one main branch?
Well, we do the best that we can. Obviously, we want those branches. Obviously, we want to be able to offer those services, and we mourn the loss of those every day. We continue to look for opportunities to reopen them, but to a degree, as you've pointed out, that is out of our control. So we do the best that we can. We have expanded services in the main library. We've expanded technology in the main library. The entire building has Wi-Fi access, so we have a lot of people every day who are in there with their own laptops. And of course we have everyone working on our computers. A lot of folks, I would say probably 80% of the folks who are coming in to use the library right now are coming in to look for jobs. That's the primary use of the library right now, and most libraries across the country are experiencing that.
So if someone's living in East Trenton, they used to be able to go to East Trenton branch, maybe within blocks, right?
It's much more difficult.
Go on the computer, look for a job.
Absolutely.
Now they got to travel all the way into town.
Absolutely.
You think, listen.
It's much more
listen,
difficult.
they're not going to get up. 2 blocks as opposed to 25 blocks? Walk right outside your door and walk around the corner as opposed to catching a bus and then catching another bus or walking or catching a cab? Come on, Trenton. Come on. When's the last time you spoke with the mayor? I don't want to get you in any hot water. When's the last time you spoke with the mayor?
I believe it was October of 2010.
Please. October 2010. Listen, I'm laughing.
I'm counting on my fingers.
I see you counting, but it wasn't any time recently.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't any time recently.
Man, come on, Tony. Come on, Mayor Mack. A year has gone by, and you have not spoken to the executive director of your library system about anything. Listen, Trenton residents, I'm in transit in terms of where I'm going to be living. I want to move to the burg, and you know what I get here? I become a board member of the city of Trenton. I become a board member. I get a say. I already got a say. I get a vote. If you think I'm going to stand around and cast my vote for some losers, and there's a bunch of losers down at City Hall, it's not happening. This city needs to wake up. This city is very close to revitalizing or very close to going down the toilet. You need to wake up. Listen, let me just say the one thing. The story in the morning about Mac announced a safety program, about his continued ability to disconnect with people. Hasn't spoken to the executive director of the library for a year. Implemented a program last night to try and bring some safety to these streets, and didn't even talk to the prosecutor. This is what Joe Bucchini said. I would have thought the appropriate way to address this initiative would have been to discuss it with the prosecutor's office. Man. Maybe people don't see it, but there's a lot in that message. We need a mayor that, doesn't just rush out and print up stuff and, listen, all the ideas are great, but right now they're just words. These are just, his initiative, these are just words. Let's see some action behind it. I guarantee that if you gave me a summons booklet right now with 100 summons in it, I could go out and write 100 summons right now. And that's the only way that we're going to start seeing some change in the city. I was down in the area, Chambersburg, yesterday morning. Beer bottles everywhere in front of this one establishment. Somebody needs to go down there and write them a ticket and say, listen, if we come back tomorrow and it's like this, we're going to be thinking about shutting you down. People understand money and fines and liens and coming to court. So, you have new technology, new stuff at the library, right?
We do. We're doing a lot of work at the library. We have downloadable audio, downloadable ebooks. We have a Rocket Languages program that's available to anyone with a Trenton Public Library card, either from the library or from their home, that they can learn, I think it's 12 different languages.
Wow.
We have so many fantastic resources, both on the computer and utilizing our staff and our librarians. Story times. We have a knitting and a crocheting workshop that meets, a poetry reading once a month.
Wow.
It's great things happening.
And how do you get your information out about what's going on at the...
Primarily through our website, although we are doing we're really going to be promoting marketing of the library, rebranding, something you and I have talked about, which is getting a logo for the library.
Talk about that initiative.
Okay, well, we're very excited. It's something that we've wanted to do for a really long time, but obviously we've had a few things going on, and so now we feel like we're at a place where we need to move forward. I have read the mayor's crime initiative, and one of the things that I absolutely think is fantastic, and I agree with him, and it's something that we've been trying to do, is the no broken windows. If you come down to the Trenton Public Library, one of the things that you're going to see is we have invested some money in making sure that the outside of the building looks good, that we have new concrete that was getting really, it was really becoming a liability after all these years. The inside of the building, one of the things that we've heard since the day I got there was that we needed new carpeting. We did save our pennies, and we have been able to put in new carpeting, new paint, things like that. And we think that the time is right for us to reach out to the community and remind them that this is their library. This is an amazing, fantastic resource that is available to come and learn a language, to come and do a story time, to come and learn to crochet, to come and read a topic of any interest, to come and make a resume, to work on your taxes, to get a job. This is here for the citizens of Trenton, and it's their library. And we think a nice starting point for that is a logo competition, which, again, as you said, we've talked about. We'll be working with the Trentonian to solicit logos from all members of the community. We're going to, you and I will get together, we'll put that in the newspaper, and then hopefully we'll have submissions, and then from that we'll have a committee of library members, staff members, hopefully some folks down maybe at City Hall, then some community members, and we'll select from all of the submissions 3 logos, and then what we'd like to do is put it back onto the Trentonian's website and have the community of Trenton actually vote on what their logo for their public library is going to be, and then we're very excited. Then they'll start to see that logo out there.
Cool stuff. Hopefully the logo in the future will encompass the other 4 branches. Listen. And the mayor and I talk all the time, and listen, he knows I'm going to criticize him. When he first took office, I sat down with the mayor and I said, listen, man, you need a stick. You need something that it's your go-to game plan everywhere you go, no matter where you're going. And what you're talking about, you always say, you know what, I need 5 minutes to talk about education. 5 minutes to talk about education. I don't care if he's there to talk about whatever. 5 minutes, here's my education speech. This city will never, ever, ever recover unless we fix our education system, unless education becomes important to black people primarily again. Listen, Latinos are already getting it. They're already getting it. The Latinos are similar to the parents of Dr. Leslie Haley. They get the part about education. They say, you know what, we're going to work real hard right now, so you don't have to work real hard like we're working. If I'm clean, like my mom used to scrub and clean, just like a lot of other black women, scrubbed and cleaned white people's houses. And I hated it. To know that she was down on her knees somewhere, scrubbing somebody's floor. But she did that for me, so I could stand up and be a man and do something else and make a difference. I thank every mom, whoever you were, black, white, or indifferent, that got down on your knees in somebody else's home so you could have a better life. That's what the Latinos are doing right now. I don't know what a lot of other people are doing. Listen, I know that there's a great share of moms and dads in Trenton that do the right thing. And I also know there's a great share that don't go out and grab their kid off that corner and say, guess what? My son's not going to sell drugs in the city. My son's not going to rob and steal. And then, you know what our fallback blame is? The system. You better run how the system works, because I'm telling you, once the system gets your name and gives you a number somewhere, your life just got kicked down a hellhole. Can't get a job, can't vote as a felon, can't drive. Come on now. The number one thing we need to do is make sure that our sons and daughters and others don't get into the judicial system, and I'm not talking about becoming a lawyer. Because once they get your butt on that sheet, your life is in shambles. In shambles. I'd rather sit down at Trenton Central High School all day, every hour, every minute, than spend 1 minute in jail. It's not what we do. It's not the norm. It can't be the norm. It's amazing. We never got that new high school, but they're building new prisons everywhere. They're waiting for you. They're waiting for you. They have the plan. But you can't beat that little plan. You know what? I'm not going to sell drugs today. I'm just going to lay here in my mama's house. Even that's better than going out there and getting caught up. Go to the library.
I was going to say, or come to the library.
Go to the library. Seriously. Go tell Executive Director Kimberly Matthews that you heard us talking about this today and say, guess what? I'm here to read a book. I'm here to get a job. I'm here to learn a second language. Go ahead. I'll give you the last word.
As Nelson Mandela said, information is a basic human right, and it's available right down the street at 120 Academy. All you have to do is walk through the door.
And it gives you power. Executive Director Kimberly Matthews, thanks for stopping by.
You're welcome.
And Father Ramsey, go ahead. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right. Congrats on the new
I
show.
appreciate it. Come back again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're running out of time. I'll stop talking.
You might
No.
have to turn those
Give it.
rants soon. You might have to, or at least got the time now.
Yeah, we're going to have to kill my rants.
We'll work on it. You want
Yeah.
to get Dr.
Yeah,
you want to get
principal,
Mark,
yeah.
principal,
Yeah.
give him like 30 seconds.
Yep.
I would say keep it to about keep him to about 5 minutes.
Yeah. That's Maurice. You didn't tell me you were bringing backup.
I bring my family all the time. I have to celebrate.
How are you?
Yeah, a lot of great things happening.
I hear that.
That's why.
So again, when you guys speak,
We got
you guys need
we got
to
about 7 minutes, so
Okay,
sit
that's
on down.
fine. Can I
Yeah, they can come on over. Sure.
roll your chairs over?
where they're going to sit behind.
I guess
Be
we'll sit
able to
right here.
catch? Yeah.
You guys need to be close to each
You got
other.
to be here, right here.
They can sit behind.
They can sit wherever.
When you speak, principal, really speak up.
Okay.
LA's voice is so booming. We need you to
I'm
sort
sorry.
You guys should go.
Come on.
onto the other side.
Come on. Just walk right there. It's fine. All right, man. Welcome back to Live with LA. I'm here with Principal Mark Maurice, Trenton Central High School. How are you?
Doing well.
Man, you brought your crew.
Yes, I did.
You don't travel alone?
No, because the positive things that are happening are not only due to my efforts. I have a great team, and we have a lot of positive things happening. And we have Mr. Pollard, who's been in the paper for the past week about positive things happening at the culinary art. I have Sgt Morgan and the lead Major Irving, who has been doing great things for our GROTC program. We got the highest honor that we could receive. And also I have Miss Walden, who did 2 phenomenal assemblies for us about diversity.
Did she have caffeine this morning? Listen, I love her. She brings a real wonderful spirit to your building.
Yes.
And to your initiative. And I thank her dearly. What's going on at the high school? And so start with there. What's positive? Naming the positive things going on at the high school, other than things you named.
Okay.
How's that uniforms working out?
Uniform is working out. It's it's a battle, but we are winning. We do, I guess, on a daily basis, we have an average of 85 to 90%.
Okay.
So it's not bad.
How are we doing on test scores?
But what are we doing? What we in terms of uniform? I believe the initial intent of uniforms is to show order, to show commitment, to
and conformity.
Conformity.
Yeah.
However, based on my students' behavior, overall behavior, the school climate, they have internalized these values.
Okay.
So the uniform has its place, and we are going to push it.
How are we doing with testing?
Testing, we have a special test program right now that we are using, and the technique is to look at the youngsters' performance on the New Jersey Ask 8th grade level, and based on the research, any youngster who scores between 180 and 205 has a great potential of passing the HSPA on the first try. What we have done, we have identified the students. We have given them a pre-assessment where we identified their areas of deficiencies, and we have pulled our best teachers to provide additional services. As you know, that we have time limitations, so I have to pull these youngsters for additional services during their electives. Why? Because I don't want to miss the opportunity. When I have them in my midst, I have a good opportunity of working with them.
We're also
and all my teachers are on board.
We're under some time constraints here.
Okay.
Do you need a new school?
I don't know about new school, but the condition that we're working under is atrocious.
That's, let me see if I can nail you down here, Mr. Mack.
Okay.
Do we need a new school at Trenton Central High School?
If I were the sole decision maker, yes, we do.
That's good.
Because the building was built in the 1920s. We know there's asbestos in the walls. Water has been running through the walls. So it's overwhelmingly yes.
I
I
was at the game last night.
My family members here.
Great basketball game last night.
Yes.
We need a gym. Need a new school. We need a new school. Some of that dirt has been is in that floor from when that place was built, and just been waxed over and waxed over and waxed over. I think I see dead people down there when I look at it for some time.
Well, you have skills that I don't have. However, what I'll say is that the teachers are very courageous. Youngsters are determined. And if we had the opportunity, yes, we would say they want a new school right away. However, based on what we have control over, we are moving in the right direction.
You do have control over safety.
Yes, we do.
How's safety there?
The school is safe. As you know, you were at the last meeting that we had 2 Saturdays ago to address a safe passage from the school to the residences and to the through, what's the name of the park? Columbus Park. And as I said, I'm very emphatic that it is not a race issue. We have about 14 or 15 thugs that are preying on our kids. And what we did yesterday, I met with 7 of them to let them know that me and a cohort of community people will be going to visit the homes. And then if we don't get the result that we want, we're going to make sure they are candidate for the new houses.
Oh, those new places?
The big houses.
Yes. I think they might get the message. I appreciate your initiative. We're going to have you back. And maybe we'll even come down and do the show at the high school.
I think it would be wonderful because I would certainly want my family here so we could push all the positive that are happening.
Listen, I know there's positive things going on there. But listen, invite me down. We'll come do the show, right?
Right.
We can do the show down there.
Who did you bring?
Who did you bring? Who did you bring?
I'm Major Irvin,
Okay.
JROTC. I've been working in Trenton Central High School since 2007, April 2000. I replaced Colonel Smalls.
Fantastic.
And I'm Daniel Morgan. I also work with the RDC program. Been there since 1993.
I'm Barbara Walden. I'm a math teacher. I have been at Trenton High School since 1982. And
Do we need to do high school?
in addition to mathematics, I have the pleasure of being revitalized because the principal has been so gracious in helping me to have a schedule where I still teach 3 classes, but it's set up so that I can do what I have a passion for, and that's work with the kids after school. We just had an assembly called Celebrate Diversity 2012.
About in my column.
And according to everyone else, because I didn't want to be biased, it was a winner. And we have coming up a Black History program because when the Latinos celebrated Hispanic Heritage Month last year, kids came forward. Mrs. Walden, what about the Dominicans? What about the Haitians? We want to be. And I said, we're going to do it. So
Fantastic.
I'm excited.
Fantastic. And listen, if you go down, the kids respect her so much, man. It's just wonderful to see. We need to teach kids how to give respect. It's so important. And I'll let you introduce yourself in 1 second. I'll only be a minute. I left the gym last night. There's 20 of your school students out there. Tell them to clean up their language. Man, when people see you, you don't realize that someone's looking at you and hearing you. Man, you say the wrong thing at the wrong time. My goodness, some of the words I had to come check and find out what they meant. I never cursed like that. Go ahead.
I'm John Pollock, culinary arts teacher at Trenton High. It's my 2nd year there. It's been a good time remodeling the program, building it back to where we want it to be.
And I like the message. There's lots of jobs out there, right? We're so ingrained on you got to go to college. There's a lot of wonderful jobs out there, great jobs. And I'm glad you guys are getting that to your students.
Can I tell you one thing? If you want to see something really great, we have a huge inspection on Friday. It starts at 9 o'clock. It ends at 3. If you want to see something special, our JRTC program is doing this Friday.
We'll try to make it, but I expect an invitation to come down and do the show down there
Yes, absolutely.
in February for Black History Month.
You name the day.
Trenton Central High School.
My doors are open to you at all times.
I hear you. Thank you, Principal Maurice. Trenton Central High School, thank you for stopping by.
Okay, and
Thank
I
you.
would like to add that the board has been very supportive in the transformations that are taking place.
Fantastic.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Principal.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Always.
This is an alumni of Trenton Central High School.
3 kids painted it. It's awesome.
Is that right?
It was absolutely.
That's cool.
Thank you.
Ladies and gents.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
An alumni of
Pleasure.
Trenton
Thank you.
Central High School.
Thank you. Thanks, man. Always a pleasure. Yeah. Like that. I can hear you.
So
I know it's long, and so we'll
that's
fix
right.
it, but
We'll talk about the whole thing. Yeah. All right. Just before you get going, remind him to speak up.
yes. Play it up a little bit. right, Steve Miller, Fly Like an Eagle, and we have Dr. Leslie Haling, Senior Tuskegee Airman. Welcome.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
And we're going to ask you to speak up a little bit so everyone
Thanks
can hear
for
your wonderful
inviting me.
voice. We saved the most interesting for last. Everyone knows, or I'm sure a lot of people know, that Red Tails, a movie about the Tuskegee Airmen and their service in World War II, debuted last Friday. And you went to see it. What'd you think?
I went to see it Friday with a group, and I thought it was wonderful. As a matter of fact, the critics said it was old-fashioned, but what do you expect for something that happened in 1943-44? Old-fashioned.
Can we play a clip?
Sure. Let's look at the clip real quick.
We can't hear it, but maybe.
Exciting stuff, huh?
It was really realistic.
I loved it. I love the over the top, the bigness of it. You know, people are saying it was almost comic strip like. I love that. And I thought that actor. I don't know the actor's name, but I thought he was tremendous.
He was good.
Yeah. So you went there with your son. Did you go with your son or your wife?
I went with my wife and son Friday
Right.
to the thing, and a lot of other people.
And then I heard you guys went
And then
down to the Marriott.
Went to the Marriott and had a few drinks and some chicken wings and things. But then Sunday, the Buffalo Soldiers wanted to take me and escort me, so they had 4 motorcycles, and Mr. Costley, who was head of the Buffalo Soldiers, had his wife riding one of the motorcycles and 3 fellas, and they escorted us with 3 vans. We sat in one. They had 2 black vans behind the one with their logo on.
Wow.
And took us over to Sloan Avenue to the movie, formed the arch for us to walk through, and about 100 people were there to take pictures and get autographs.
So you're a celebrity now?
Yeah, they
Even
thought,
prior to all the other greatness?
yeah, they thought I won the war, but I hadn't even finished training when the war was over, so I got immediate discharge because I had volunteered.
Mm-hmm. But you were a Tuskegee Airman?
Yes.
Let's talk about, go back and talk about how you entered into the Air Force.
Well, my father had a friend in Princeton who was an MD, Dr. Anthony, who had a son on his way to college. One of his patients gave him a Lionel plaything with a big cylinder with a long wand on it with an airplane on the end with a joystick and a throttle. And he came into our house Christmas Eve and gave it to us. So we put it up in the dining room where the bay window was, and we used to fly that thing around. It would do about 60 or 70 miles an hour in a circle, and you could do loops with it. And had the kids from the neighborhood come over, and we'd take turns.
So you're inside the living
flying.
room or whatever dining room?
We were in the dining room in the bay area
Uh-huh.
where this thing could just go around fast. And we had so much fun with that for about a year before the wand got bent and it wouldn't work right. But it seems like Lionel had probably stopped making those things. But that's one of the inspirations I had besides going to Mercer Airport to see the planes take off and land.
Now, when did you enlist?
1945. As soon as I turned 18, my number was going to come up, so I enlisted April 25th. So I was just about a month after I turned 18. You had to be between 18 and 26 to get in the Cadet Corps.
And did you know you were heading to Tuskegee at that point?
Well, I didn't know where I was going, but they examined me in Grand Central Palace in New York, and took the tests, went to Hempstead, Long Island, to Mitchell Field for a psychological, and they sent me to Fort Dix for a week. Next thing I knew, I was in Biloxi, Mississippi, taking all the psychomotor tests, reaction tests, colorblind tests, depth perception. They gave us all kinds of psychomotor tests. That was the one that eliminated almost everybody. It was like a record with a dime on it and a stylus. You had 2 toggle switches you had to turn to try to keep that thing over top of the dime all the way around. that knocked out about 80 or 90% of them at least.
You said the colorblind test, was that?
The colorblind
Was that a test for America?
No, that's red-green colorblind. A lot of men have red-green colorblindness.
What was segregation like back then?
Oh, it was tough. We went to the movies downtown one time, and they had a big cloth down the middle that looked like a sheet, and black people on the left, white people on the right. They had the same thing in Trenton, though. They put us in the balcony in Trenton, and at the Rialto on Pennington Avenue, you were supposed to sit on the left, and the white people sat on the right. My daddy sat on the right, and the man put his hand on his shoulder, and he had to lay him out in the aisle while he watched the movie.
So he's a Rosa Parks, basically, of the cinema.
My daddy refused to be segregated.
And you know, you went and served, and then you came back
Well,
Well, I know, but you went and enlisted and did some time in the Air Force, right? I know
Right.
you didn't make it over to fight.
No.
But then you
Went
basically
back to
came back
school.
to school.
And
right?
it was still segregated.
But how does that feel that you signed up to defend all these rights and freedoms, and then you come back and you're getting
Well,
shafted, basically?
We wanted to fly, and you put up with anything when you're 18 years old if you want to fly an airplane. My brother went over in the Korean War because he missed the World War II. He got out of medical school, and he was at a battalion aid station in the 38th parallel when he came back with his Distinguished Medal, and I don't remember what the other one was. He came to Washington, and I was in school, and he went down to the People's Drugstore to get a tuna fish sandwich, and they wouldn't serve him. He came up there fussing with me. I said, what do you want me to do, go down, break the windows out, and get kicked out of school? So he had to laugh about that. I said, you knew things hadn't changed.
You said something last week in a story that appeared in the Trentonian that you felt that black people had gotten soft.
Well, yeah, with television and all of the computers they have now, they don't have to struggle like we did. Everything is hard, you know. It's too hard for them. They are getting soft. We had to get up and start working when we were 7, 8, 9 years old. Nobody gave you anything. And now these kids think that the world owes them a living. So they're getting soft.
And you grew up on Spring Street here in the city of Trenton?
I grew up on Spring Street. My daddy used to get up in the morning, get on the rowing machine and lift his dumbbells, then go out and see his patients in the morning. And he worked from 2 to 4 and 6 to 8 in the office.
Your practice takes you into a lot of correction facilities, prisons?
Well, I did. My son had the Correctional Dental Association. That's his company. And he's running Rikers Island in Philadelphia. Still got 5 or 6 in New Jersey. Philadelphia, Camden, Delaware County, and now he has a contract in Maryland.
So let me just say this. So prisoners are entitled to dental care.
That's right.
I mean,
medical and dental care.
Do you realize how crazy this sounds? That I could go downtown and find 1,000 people right now that haven't seen a dentist.
That's true.
But if you go to prison,
you get taken care of.
Come on.
And if you don't take care of them, they'll file suit.
What? Because their teeth fell out?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Some of them
we got this all wrong.
Some of them haven't seen the dentist in 20 years.
We've got this totally wrong.
You have to clean their teeth every year, and after the contract expired, they took it from my son. Now they only do it once every 2 years. But we had to make sure that they all came down and got the teeth cleaned every year. And if they had a toothache, they had to see him
Lord have mercy.
in
God help us all.
less than 48 hours.
They want immediate care too?
Right.
Listen, forget what I said about going to prison. Go to prison. Go to prison. You can learn there. They have libraries there. You get your teeth fixed. Dentists, good meals, three hots in a cot. Man, go to prison.
Yeah,
you're going to have to fight over the remote.
I read in the paper last week one guy that had done a murder, killed a teacher up in North Jersey to steal her car for his 17th birthday. He was trying to sue people because they didn't see him soon enough. And
no, but seriously, what's it like to go into prison and see so many African-American men?
Well, they have a lot of both in there.
Oh, I understand, but when you start talking about percentages, though, we're 12% of the population. We're 7% male of the population, we
Well,
got to be at least 50% of the
A lot
people in
of them
prison.
go to jail because they can't hire lawyers to keep them out of jail.
Mhm.
And a lot of rich people can finagle and postpone
They
it.
have money. They
get
got money. Sure.
Pre-trial intervention
They
and
work the
keep out
system.
of jail. Work the
Listen,
system.
listen. I can work the system too. You know what? I'm going to go to school. That's beating the system.
That's
Beating the
true.
system. Last, I think on Monday in Camden, this 18-year-old kid was walking down the street with his pregnant girlfriend. She was 17. Some 67, 66-year-old guy accidentally, driving very slowly, bumped her and knocked her to the ground. Didn't mean to. She wasn't injured. The young man gets in, pulls the guy out of the car, punches him in the head, knocks him out. The guy dies. Now, guess what? You're going to prison.
Oh, yeah.
We need to learn how to control our anger. You know, stop fighting over stupid stuff. I mean, people get killed because you bumped into me and you didn't say,
They do that.
excuse me? I mean, if that's the way to solve all the murders and a lot of the issues, have better manners, is that going to keep you from shooting me? I mean, come on. But anyway, Spring Street. Grew up on Spring Street along with the Dinkins family. David Dinkins becomes the mayor,
Great.
first African-American in New York. Doug Palmer grew up there, the Palmers. He becomes the first African-American mayor of Trenton. You go by Spring Street
Yeah, I ride through there every once in a while.
only when you
I'm
need
only 3 blocks from there now.
I know it's behind you
Yeah.
from where your practice is.
Right.
Disappointed?
Well, all the trees are gone. Dopesters are standing on the corner of Calhoun Spring
Is that an amazing corner?
and Passaic. Yeah,
It's an amazing corner, isn't it?
it used to be a nice block. We had a drugstore on the corner, had a bakery on the other side of Calhoun Street, and everything there was quiet. If you walked up at the 200 block of Spring Street when I was a little boy, you could drop a pin in here. Everybody was respectful and quiet, and we knew everybody on the whole street.
Right. So, you going to go see the movie again? I am.
Well,
I'm
I saw it twice. I'm going to see it again.
I'm taking my
probably.
son this weekend. So,
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
go out and support the movie. George Lucas, director, and you'll enjoy it. But definitely take your sons and daughters to go see it and open up that door to history. And I said this movie should be about, you get a little information about something that makes you want to learn more about it.
That's right.
Right? Right? So, Dr. Les Haling, thanks for stopping by, and we'll definitely see you around.
Well, thank you, and you're doing a good job with the school system and the library.
I appreciate that.
I thought it was.
Listen, I got one thing to say. A friend of mine, you can sit there, Joseph Moran passed away late last week. He's being viewed this morning in the services for his life start today. He was a friend of mine. I got to know him later in his life, but he was a great guy, and he always had a positive word for me. We disagreed about some things, but not many things. He loved this city.
I saw your article
He
about it.
loved this city. He's one of the last big-time Trentonians. He loved this city. He operated a funeral home on Hamilton Avenue for 50 years, and he had that banner hanging outside of his business. The moment it touched 50, it meant something to him. His family means something to him. His wife, he loved his wife dearly. So it's going to be a long couple days for me, I know that, but we definitely want to send him out in the right way. And in my way, he was a Donna Summers fan, but we're not playing Donna Summers this morning. We're going to reach back and play something, probably a song you know, Rose in Spanish Harlem. That was one of his.
Oh, yeah.
You like that song?
Yeah.
DJ?
Spanish. Oh.
Father Ransom. Listen, L.A. Parker, Live with L.A. Hope you enjoyed it. It'll get better. We'll fine-tune it. But thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And Joe Horan, love you, man. Love you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
All right. Thanks for having me.